a second down on that last drive?
Yeah, I'd like to have it back.
Was that a check or was that the play call was a run?
Yeah, I'd just like to have the play back.
What do you think Mason's range was to do that last drive?
That was right at the edge of it.
Did Tyrod give you explanation on the fumble in the first half when you had the 4th and 1?
Yeah, just fumbled it.
What do you think about Tyrod's play overall?
I did a lot of good stuff, and a couple plays here or there we'd like to have back.
What happened on the 2-point conversion play?
What happened? He just missed it. We had Saquon. He just short-armed it a little bit.
Top of the decision there, obviously you're going to kick it and then to change that.
Yeah, Ben was on the 1. Like the call we had. Just came up a little short.
What do you think overall the play of your veterans? Saquon dropped a pass, Tyrod missed a couple of passes, Adoree on the tackle. What do you think overall, just the way some of your vets played today?
Oh, yeah, I thought everybody competed and just came up a little short.
Right, how frustrating was it to have so many big plays called back by penalties? It seemed like every time you guys got a positive, it was sort of counterweighted by a negative.
How frustrating was it? Yeah. Wish we didn't get the penalties.
You ever start a game like that where you had 2 penalty challenges that you won?
Nope.
Let's keep going back to it. On that Saquon run, could you have jumped in and vetoed it and kind of changed the play call at all before it got to that point of being run?
Yeah, I'd just like to have it back.
And it was the second down play. I mean, could you have run a play, or did you have to spike it there?
Yeah, look, we competed to the end. Just a few plays here or there that obviously like to have back.
Dibs, what did you think of Belton's play stepping in after Pinnock was injured?
Yeah, made some nice plays. The ball finds him. Did in training camp, and a good example of a player that wasn't starting, that's ready to go, and stepped in and did a nice job.
Did you using the timeouts on defense in that spot? Was it just circumstance where you were, field position? I mean, I know you don't see a 94-yard punt return coming, but any regrets in that spot to not hold on to one of the timeouts?
No.
What do you take away from a game where your team makes so many plays, but has mistakes that result in a loss?
Well, I think that's like any game. I mean, there's plays that we had and mistakes, and got to overcome some of the mistakes, and everybody, we can just do a better job. Start with me. Thought they competed well. Came up a little short. It was so many opportunities throughout that game. That we just came up a little bit short on.
On the third down play before the field goal, did it seem like Tyrod had a chance to get the ball to Wandale?
I'd look at the tape, Paul.
What do you say to the guys after you?
Thought they competed hard. Finished up into the end, and it's never a good feeling to lose a game. Put a lot into it. Came up a few plays short.
You did have about a half a minute left there. Do you have any thought on going for a fourth down and trying to get a little closer?
On the missed field goal? No, we're going for the field goal.
What is Tyree's injury, Dibs?
I don't know. I don't think it's good. He was hurting pretty good. I mean, but it's a knee. I know that. That's what he was. He was in a lot of pain out there. But I haven't talked to the doctors. All good? Anything else?
What makes Dane good at turning the ball over? I mean, I know some of them are over.
Yeah, he's usually he has a good knack for being around the ball. Like I said, he's OTAs, training camp, things like that. He's usually, it's uncanny ability to be around the ball. It's a good thing.
All right, could you take us through just that sequence, the 2-point conversion, what you see on that one?
Yeah, obviously it's lack of execution, and it started with me. Saquon was open. It's kind of caught in between running it and throwing it, and didn't do either one of them. But yeah, I got to be better. It's a routine throw, something I've hit plenty of times before. But yeah, that moment I didn't execute.
On the last drive there, the second down run play, you just kind of take us through what I guess you're getting the call, but just the thought process there.
Yeah, we called a draw play. And thought that we could get some extra yardage in that situation. And ultimately they ran a stunt and was able to be better at us in that moment.
Tyrod, that wasn't an alert, right? That was the play? That second down play?
It was a draw.
Just a draw. Thank you.
Did you have a yard line in mind that they had told you, hey, we need to get to X for?
Yeah, we talked about a yard line early in the game. Whenever we hit the field to start the game, we have a yard line both ways for obviously 2 minute, both in the half and end of game, and just knowing throughout the game where we are, where we feel comfortable. And it was around that spot. But ultimately didn't execute. And that doesn't boil down to cries or anybody. It's just a lack of execution overall. It's hard to pinpoint and put it on one play. Like I know football doesn't come down to one play. Sometimes it gets judged that way, but there was a lot of things left on the field. Could have done better throughout the whole game to put ourselves in a better situation.
Why at that time did you think that was a good call, the Saquon draw? What did you see from their defense?
I didn't call the plays.
No, I know, but you were optimistic it would work, correct?
Yeah, I have confidence in every play that we call. It's putting us in the right situation to go out there and execute. At the end of the day, we didn't do a good job of executing that draw play and have to learn from it and move forward.
Tyrod, is there one play you went back? I apologize that I was still getting to the locker room.
Yeah. One play that sticks out is the 2-point conversion. Other than that, probably be the interception up the right. We was able to bounce back from both of those at the end of the day, just didn't execute at the end.
Were you thinking about running that 2-point? Were you thinking about it?
Yeah, I was in between running and throwing. I take full responsibility of that. That falls on nobody but myself, and I'll be better if put in that position again.
Do you think the fact that you were in between affected the throw?
Yeah, but it's not an excuse for the throw. Like I said, I'm not making an excuse for the throw. That's something that I've done before, something will continue to keep doing, making that throw. But yeah, the indecision, anytime you're indecisive on the football field, is never a good thing.
If you run it, do you think you're going to make it there?
I do.
Fumble snap, what happened there?
Just miscommunication between me and J. Mike. It's also tough in those situations sometimes when you have a guy right in front of you as well too. Those guys were getting off the ball pretty fast, but we was able to execute the second time we ran it. Just bad quarterback center exchange, and that starts with me.
31-yard scramble at the end on that last drive. Talk about that.
Yeah, they did a stunt. They put both their defensive end and their the defensive tackle inside, and I was able to capture the right edge, see some space, and try to make a play, get ourselves in the best situation to go down and kick a field goal to win the game.
All right. After that, you get the call signal in to spike it.
Yes.
You guys run up. Do you think you guys could have ran a play? In a scramble situation?
Looking back at it, I got to watch the film and just see, but I thought it was the right call at the time. I never second-guessed the coaches. I think that they do a great job of putting us in the best situation, time management-wise, and I was given a call and I related to our offense, and that's what we went out and did.
You take us through the Slayton touchdown?
Yeah. We actually had that play called earlier on the pick. Jalen was on the other side. And the safety kind of did something similar. And we knew that if we get a chance to get one-on-one with these guys down the field to give them a chance, we also had the same play called on the one that they called back to Jalen up the right side as well, too, going back towards our tunnel. But Slayton done a great job of stacking, getting over top of the DB he told me for a second he lost the ball, started jogging. I still didn't see that part. I just knew when it left my hands that he was behind the corner, and looked up and he was hit him in stride.
Best balls you've ever thrown.
No.
That was up there a while.
That's a good one, though. Thank you.
Right. And that ball was up there a while.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how far it was in the air.
60.
Not that that matters right now, but 60. That might have been one of the farther throws there. Yeah. Thank you.
Do you find it almost unfathomable that you can throw an 80-yard rope to Darius and then the 2-yarder somehow just doesn't work?
It's part of the game. You play the game long enough, you're going to make some throws, you're going to miss some. Hopefully you make more than you miss. But, yeah, in that situation just was lack of execution on my end.
As a veteran in this league, there were so many opportunities. The coach talked about so many opportunities. You talked about so many opportunities. Is there something you tell your teammates afterwards to, particularly given the number of young guys you have and just the way the season has gone?
Yeah, there's always room to learn. And I think those stand out, obviously, when you lose. It's easy to throw them under the rug or wash them away when you win, just because you're so on the emotional side of winning. But the biggest lessons come when you lose. You put more of a critical eye on situations. You put more of a critical eye on yourself. I know that's how I operate. And I think that I'm better from those. And that goes with the sport and in life as well. So, yeah, when times of adversity, which we've dealt through a lot this year, there's two ways to go. And to be a good team, you have to be able to look yourself in the face, understand what you didn't do so well, be better at it, attack those weaknesses, and overall be a better player, and ultimately that makes you a better team.
Tyrod, do you think you should have won this game today?
Yeah, but I don't think what should have or could have matters at the end of the day, because we didn't. We did enough to put ourselves in position to win, but we also hurt ourselves in some areas as well too. It's the reality of the game, and we have to be better at those moments.
How would you assess your play today?
I think I played well, but like I told you, I judged myself off wins and losses, and ultimately today wasn't a winning performance, so it's room to grow.
Are these losses harder to shake off? I mean, you've had a couple of them this year. You had a game in Buffalo, a game against the Jets. Are these losses harder for players?
I mean, as a competitor, anytime you lose, it's never a good feeling. I can't say whether one is harder to shake off versus the other. It's just about looking at it with a critical eye. Like I said, looking in the mirror, asking yourself, what could you have done better, and attack those for the next week.
How do you keep guys up and motivated? You had a couple of big plays, but they were holding penalties that brought you back there. What's it like going in the huddle to keep guys focused?
Next play mentality. Can't control it. Refs make calls. We can't change them. You have to think next play, because ultimately that's what matters. And if you're letting something from the past linger on, then you're never focused or truly focused for the play at hand. But the guys, I would say, was able to bounce back today. A couple unfortunate calls, but that didn't stop us. We was able to still get positive yardage and put ourselves in the right situation.
Is it just kind of typical today of the way the season's going, where some things have gone right but not enough?
I think that's NFL in general. We look across the league. It's highs and lows. We've been on the losing end a couple times, more than we wanted to, obviously. But that's not to say that everything just went bad. It's a lot of positives to take away from this game. Special teams, offense and defense. They created turnovers on defense, or we created turnovers on defense. We also gave away two, but we was also able to create big plays. Gunner had a great play on the punt return as well too. So it's not all bad. It's just not good enough, and ultimately that doesn't get the job done. There's no moral victories in this game, but there's always positive to look. There's always positive to hold on to and to build from.
What was the communication like? Obviously, the Gunner touchdown kind of comes out of nowhere. You go out to kick it, and then you go for two. Was there any thought of going for two when the ball's at the 2-yard line, or is it
No, we talked about it on offense. If we would have gone down and scored, then the 2-point to win the game, but being that it happened so fast, then they jumped offside, so the penalty happened, pushes at the 1, so you just like your chances better.
2 more.
Or none.
Can you share what your process would be like tonight after a loss like today?
yeah, I mean, watch the tape, get better from it, but also put it behind you. Whatever it is, it creates balance in your life. For me, it's family. I have my family in town. I'll spend some time with them and get ready for next week.
Particular plays that you're going to focus in on when you look at the tape?
Yeah, all of them.
I wouldn't say like we knew as a team, like the offense. That's we leave that to the coaches and everyone up. All the guys upstairs who did a great job, and they felt like we got to the yard line and we made the call, and the Rams made a great play, and that's what it was, and we had to lose it again.
How do you think a team fixes like shooting itself in the foot, whether it's game situations, whether it's these mistakes and missed opportunities? Like, how does that get fixed? I don't know if that's a fair question.
Yeah, just got to continue to focus on the little things. And that starts with myself. A simple option route. I've been asking for all year, and I make a good read and thinking of taking it to the house instead of securing a catch. That's just myself. There's so many other plays throughout the game, and that's what it is. It's the little things, and that's what the league comes down to. Whoever can focus on details and do the little things right, and majority of the time that team will come out to win.
Saquon, do you feel you should have won this game today?
No, we didn't win. Obviously, that's how it is. I feel like anytime it's a one-score game or a close game, any team can feel like they should have won. But at the end of the day, only one team gets a W in the win column, and we didn't do that. So we had opportunity, we had a chance to win, and we failed as a team.
Can you find ways to win games instead of, it seemed like today's one of the things you found way to get close, you know what I mean? How much does it mean to flip that?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, like I said, wins don't just occur or fall in your lap. They don't happen without you making them happen in this league. And we had opportunities to make it happen, and if you don't take advantage of those opportunities, you end up with the L.
Gary, you knew the Rams' offense was clicking on all cylinders last month. You were going to have to score points. To get as many as you did and to still fall short, how frustrating is that?
It's tough, man, because like you said, there's things that we can take away that we thought that we did well, but at the end of the day, you got to do enough. You got to make all the plays that are presented to you, and we didn't make enough to win the game.
That's a tough field goal, tough distance there at the end, right?
Right.
What are you doing? Where are you watching it from? How are you handling that kick?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like midway, and so I like kind of stand back to like see the kick if it goes through or not. And just tough to not see it go through.
Were you surprised you didn't throw the ball on second down? After Tyrod scrambled, so it was still a long field.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to execute what they give us. And try to make the best of the situation after the play. Play didn't go as well, and you just got to react. But yeah, it's tough that it didn't work out.
You get a 94-yard punt return, almost a miracle, because he comes out of this big crowd of people. And at that point, you feel like we're going to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge moment, huge shot in the arm for the team, for the sideline. But never really have the game, won until the very end. I've been a part of so many games where so many things happen in those final minutes, final seconds. It's tough, especially when you get a huge momentum play like that. It's just hard.
Is this a tough loss to take because of people who were expecting them to blow you out, and you guys were right there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough the way that it transpired, and knowing that there were so many opportunities, especially as an offense, to make a play, make a statement, and to put the game away. And we just didn't, because there's probably a lot of games where people thought that there's going to be a big point spread. I mean, last week as well. So we feel like just on any given day that we can, if we execute well enough, we can keep the game close and have opportunities to win, which we did, and just didn't take advantage of those opportunities.
It's definitely disappointing. We had multiple chances to really win the game by 7 or more. Honestly, we get some. We execute a little bit better in a few spots, and Jalen's big play doesn't get called back. Probably have some more points right there at the end, and maybe able to just kneel it out, but just didn't go that way.
Were you surprised that on second down that last series there that you didn't throw the ball?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's kind of two trains of thought there. You know, the 35 is like a general line for kickers or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's Crosby's line is right around there. So, you know, putting it in the air obviously runs the risk of something bad happening. You know, keeping it on the ground is normally a little bit of the safer bet, but unfortunately, you know, we took a loss right there and backed ourselves up a little bit.
Is there anything consistent in a lot of the losses you've had that are close this year?
Yeah.
Is there anything consistent you can see in execution or management-wise why it's not going away in those moments?
We just haven't. We haven't made enough plays at the end. You know, we have plays. We got. You know, it's not always bad calls either. You know, sometimes we have good calls on and we just don't execute and get it done. You know, like I said, if we execute a little better, you know, on a few plays, we probably have 14 more points there at the end. You know, so, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You got to make them when it counts.
You almost feel like that, you know, it's almost like a Murphy's Law kind of thing. You guys hit the big plays today. I mean, it seemed like you had big plays all over the field. And then the little plays that you guys couldn't connect on really seemed to be what decided the game.
For sure. I mean, it's always kind of like that, you know. A lot of plays that kind of get under a rug normally tend to be the ones that come back to bite you in the end, whether that's win or lose. So you just got to find a way to make more of these this last week and finish strong.
Do you feel like we should have won this game?
Yeah, I do think we should have won the game, but fortunately we didn't.
Pretty rare we have an 80-yard touchdown and a 4-yard punt return.
Yeah.
You don't win.
Yeah, I'm sure the statistics would lean in your favor normally.
Can you talk about the touchdown catch that you had? It looked like from the top that you recognized the ball and where you need to adjust, and the defender just didn't do that.
Yeah, I was running for a minute there. I mean, Tyrod must have, you know, threw his whole shoulder out to get it there. I mean, he launched it at least 60-something yards, a bomb up the throw. Back-to-back weeks, he's done that for me now. So, shout out him for that. But great ball by him, and, you know, obviously once I saw it in the sky, you know, I went and ran it down.
You know, we talked a lot about your body control on last week's touchdown. Today, it seemed like just being able to track the ball and the awareness in that situation, because it seemed like that's what got you the separation at the top of the route. Is that how it played out?
Yeah, for sure. As well as the ball being out in front of me helps me to separate from the DB as well. So, you know, the throw along with, you know, God-given speed, thanks Mom and Dad, helped me out on that one.
You know, we got one more opportunity left, and a lot of good stuff to build off this game. So we'll go back, watch the tape like we always do, stick to our process, and have a great week of practice.
When you guys get that defensive stand to get the opportunity for the go-ahead field goal, the momentum at that point, how did the guys make you feel inside?
It was electric. You know, we had great confidence in our offense at that point in time. They were playing really well. Like you said, we'd come off, just got that big stop. Isaiah got the sack. So it was fun. It was a fun, competitive game. Like I said earlier, kudos to the Rams, Coach McVay, Matthew Stafford. I thought they played a great game. They played at a high level, so it was a fun, competitive game.
We were told coming in that they were as hot offensively over the last month as a team could be, but yet you guys were able to slug punches with them and stay with them. What does that say about what you guys were doing?
You know, we're a tough, resilient team. You know, Matthew Stafford, I think he's playing as well as any quarterback in the league right now. That offense is humming. And it was fun. You know, he's going through all his reads. He's making all his checks. You know, you feel like you're really playing a chess game out there. So I thought we, you know, did a good job making them go the long, hard way. I think we were the only team. I mean, they've scored every opening drive. So to go down, I mean, it was probably like 10, 12 plays. But, you know, to withstand that and have no score, that was big. So we just knew we had to stick to our game plan. They were going to hit their check downs. We didn't want to give up too many explosive plays, but that's a good offense, and you know they executed better than we did. What
was the key to getting pressure on them? I think you had 4 sacks total, and quite frankly, you didn't have Banks in the lineup today, and McLeod held up nicely.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Wink. You know, just being creative. You know, Xavier in the secondary is back there disguising, but we sent a lot of pressure at them, and you know, it kept them off the rhythm.
And finally, a heartbreaking loss like this, you've had a few of them this year. How difficult is it to get over those kinds of defeats?
I mean, you go back, look at the tape, and you just focus on the positives, you know, what you did well, and then what you can learn from, where you can get better and grow. But the key is to stay encouraged. Don't let anything get you discouraged. You know, keep that positive spirit and stay encouraged.
You know, I felt like, you know, we were well inside the range there, and just, you know, need to hit it on that right side of the uprights with how that wind was blowing, especially once you get out that far, it's going to move it a little bit more, and I, you know, just kind of knocked it there at the end.
Was it a miss hit?
No, I thought I hit it. I thought I hit it pretty good. Just went down through it a little bit. Downhill too much, and just didn't start it. Again, inside right with how that wind was blowing down there.
Thank you.
I mean, it was a pretty quick. I mean, you guys, Gunnar has the punt return. You guys get the ball back. Tyrod makes the long run.
Yeah.
I mean, you start thinking, I guess, at some point pretty quickly. Okay, you've been in this situation a lot.
Yeah. Obviously, we talked it through, and Tyrod did an awesome job just getting down there, eating a big chunk up right away, and we were inside the line that I said was kind of max there, and obviously my job's to go out there and execute. Those guys battled out there, and disappointed whenever I'm not able to capitalize at the end.
It was a 52-yarder, and then it became a 54-yarder.
Just with how the play sequences happened.
Right. I mean, you guys lost 2 yards on that.
Yeah.
So what did you say your line was?
Well, I mean, drop dead there where it's like you're going to go after it with everything is, probably 55 and in. So, again, with how that wind is out there, it was tricky. If you didn't get started on the right line, it just it moved it a lot. So I had a little. I just didn't start it on that right side, and it was trying to hold on, and then just turn there at the end.